Today I'm going to share with you 5 mistakes in a coaching business that are keeping you below $1 million in revenue. Number 1, offloading sales too early on in your business. I don't like sales. I don't want to do my enrollment calls anymore. I want someone else to do it. Big mistake. I'm going to give you a couple reasons why. Number 1, let's assume that you charge $5,000 for your coaching program. And let's assume that you convert about 30% of people you speak with on the phone. Okay, so you have 3 calls and one of them says yes. So if you look at your effective hourly rate, we take 5,000 divided by 3, and that ends up being what? 1,600 and change. So your effective hourly rate for every hour you spend on the phone trying to enroll a client, if they're a good fit, is $1,600, give or take. Now, please tell me, unless you're, wherever you're at in your business, under $1 million, what else in your business is going to give you a higher return for per hour put in than that? The answer, honestly, is not a lot. Because if you're building graphics in Canva, if you're tinking around with your website, if you're doing comfortable work that is easy to do, a lot of those things might make you feel good, but they don't move the needle. The most important thing you should be doing in your coaching business until at least $750,000 a year is getting on the phone with people and enrolling clients. And if you don't like it, it's probably because you're not great at it. And that's okay, because we tend not to like things we're not good at. So what do? We get better at it and we like it. So again, we work with primarily health practitioners and coaches. And many of our clients come in very apprehensive of selling. They're like, no, I'm a doctor, I'm a health practitioner, I don't like to sell. I'm like, great, have fun with that type of business where no one actually wants to work with you. But what happens is when you get better at this, you actually enjoy it. And what happens is it's the biggest lever in your business, other than one more thing I'll talk about, to help you go from, where it is you are to the next level. A couple conversations I would have with my clients typically look like this. How many hours are you spending in delivery? How many hours are you speaking on the phone with prospective clients? Clients like, I spend about 10 hours a week, doing discovery enrollment calls, and I spend 30 hours a week in delivery. I'm like, cool. So we got to reverse that, because number 1, delivery will always become the biggest bottleneck in a service-based business. So we got to fix that. And that's one of the things I do with my clients is how do we take those 30 hours of delivery, chop it down to 15 without compromising the quality of results your clients get, so they actually get better results while saving you less. So we take those 15 hours and we put it on the front end. So we take 10 hours of enrollment calls, now we have 25. And let's say that you enroll 1 out of 3 people. So if you're doing 10 enrollment calls a week, let's just ballpark this for the month, 40 calls a month, 1 out of 3 enrolls, let's just say 1 out of 4, just to keep the math easier. So 1 out of people enrolls, that's 10, okay? So 10 clients a month, and let's say you charge $5,000. That's a pretty good business. That's $50,000 a month, right? 10 clients enrolled, $5,000 each. Amazing. But you want bigger, you want more, you want to help more people. So now we have 25 hours a week, because we took the 15 from delivery, put it up front, times 4, that's 100 hours. Divide that by 4, we have 25 clients enrolled paying you $5,000 each. That's $125,000 per month. We have 2.5x your business simply by moving more hours from delivery into enrollment calls. You have now crossed more than $1 million in run rate. And at this point, hey, maybe it makes sense to look at hiring another sales rep to support you on that. But you have to look at, okay, I'm going to do as many enrollment calls as I possibly can over the next short term, because I have to build up cash in the bank. I have to build up profitability in the business, so I have more of a reserve, if you will, to actually hire someone. Because if you want to hire someone else, you actually have to be generating revenue and profit to make that possible. I've seen people want to hire sales reps when they're doing $5K a month. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? You're not even good enough, first and foremost, to coach anyone else to do your sales, which is a very big mistake. And I've seen this happen far too often. I don't want to do sales. I'm going to have my office manager do it just because I don't want to. And then they go 0 for 20 and the business fucking disintegrates. No. Get back on the phone. You do the enrollments, you build up your cash reserve, you hire someone who's really good, you coach them and train them and give them feedback. Yes, it's a temporary thing, it's gonna suck. However, for every hour you invest in coaching a sales rep, you will buy back 10 hours of your time, but only once you're at $1 million plus, okay? Do not hire sales team before you have mastered sales yourself and you're at a revenue level, I would say minimum $75K a month, where it makes sense to offload that to someone else. So then you can spend more time on the higher level stuff beyond selling. So that's the first mistake we want to avoid. The second one is undercharging. The examples we just looked at, okay? So let's say that you have 10 enrolled clients a month and you charge $5K. It's the same amount of work, same everything. Person B enrolls 10 clients a month and they charge $1,500. They're making $15,000. You're making $50,000 for, let's call it the same offer, the same work, the same everything. This person is making 3.5 times less money for the same amount of work, the same amount of time, the same stuff. All you have to do is raise your prices. And I know that sounds easy, but you have to be confident in what you're selling. And if you're not confident, well, you gotta do what you gotta do to become confident. Go to the product, go in your coaching program, make it better, review the client's wins, the testimonials, feed your soul, drink the Kool-Aid of what you're doing. I firmly believe that, our HBA program is the best thing anyone will ever do for their business and their personal life in working with us. And when you look at that, and my belief is for what we're charging, it's a friggin' steal, right? If you got one nuance that made you 1% better, it'd be the cheapest thing you ever purchased. That's my belief, right? You have to have a belief in what you're offering to such a degree that you're I'm only charging $1,500. No, I'm gonna take that to $3K, because just based on conviction, people will always object to price, whether it's $1,000, $5,000, $20,000, okay? I promise you. So why worry about the people who are not, why even bother charging $1,000? We recommend our clients charge a minimum $3K for a 6, 8, 10, 12-week coaching program. Okay, some charge a lot more. But if you're undercharging, you put a tremendous amount of strain on the business, because here's what happens. For the same amount of work, the same amount of energy, the same amount of effort, you make significantly less. You have smaller margins, and therefore, if you have any cost of goods sold or cost of service, i.e., lab test or, welcome packages, whatever you're doing for your clients, that chips away at the margin even more. If you're acquiring clients with paid traffic, you're gonna pay for those clients, so now the margins are even smaller, versus if you charge twice as much, you have the same fixed cost or the same variable cost, right? Cost of goods sold the same. If your Facebook ads cost you $500 to acquire a client, that's $500. But you have way more margin to make more sense of it. If you're coaching clients and you wake up in the morning, you're I'm definitely not charging enough, it doesn't get you excited to show up. Obviously we want to serve our clients, but you also have to do so in a way that gets you jazzed. Yes, I'm earning what I deserve for the work I'm putting in here and for my intellectual property. So the other reason that undercharging puts a lot of strain on the business is because you have to make up in volume what you lack in price. It's a lot more complicated to work with 10 times as many clients than it is to work with 10 times as few clients. If you charge $1,000 and someone else charges $5,000, for the same revenue, they're working with 5 times fewer clients. And that means it's a lot easier to run that business. If you want to make the same revenue, you have to work with 5 times as many clients, but you're not going to do everything. So now the problem becomes you have to hire a lot of people. And for the level of margin you have, that becomes very, very strenuous on the business. So now you create a business that is very complex. You have a lot of moving parts, you have a lot of clients, and you have a lot of team unnecessarily for that level of profit. Whereas if you had higher margins, you could work with fewer clients for the same absolute revenue, and you would need fewer people on your team to service them. So you really want to think through this stuff. And that's why pricing is such a huge lever in your business, because the vast majority of any increase in price is going to go right to the bottom line. And that means cash in your pocket as the business owner. So if you don't want to grow your business beyond $1 million, make the mistake of charging too little. The third coaching business mistake that I've seen, oh my God, way too often is diversifying your offerings. I have a saying, which is one target market, one core program, one offer, one traffic source until $1 million. That's it. I've got clients who are I've had people on the phone say I can't afford it. Should I offer a DIY lower? And I'm don't do it. Don't do it. You think they're gonna jump, enjoy it?
Oh my God, I can do this by myself for $500?
No, those are the same people who are gonna tell you $500 is also too expensive. You do one thing. You offer one core program and you go as far as you possibly can with that. And when you're bored out of your mind, you keep improving it. Trust me, this is what I've had to do. My previous business was a fucking nightmare. Hundreds of pages and funnels and products. It was a friggin' complexity nightmare. When I started Healthpreneur, I said I'm doing one thing, and that's it. Our perfect client pipeline and HBA, which was our main coaching program. That's it. Now we have a higher level mastermind for those who move up to the next level. So we have a core offer and a scale offer. The very fact that you have an S at the end of programs tells me you're not doing well. I've got this program, this program, this program, this service is offered, this. Blow it up. Forget about it, guys. I'm telling you, it's the single biggest failure point in any coaching business is offering too much shit. You cannot be the master of everything. And honestly, it requires so much work to get one thing amazing. Try doing that twice with another thing. It's not gonna, let's add another thing because people said no to this thing. Let's add this one in. Don't. Do not do it. I'm telling you from someone who's obsessive. Let's do this next thing, this next thing, this next thing. I've had to take my horizontal creativity and invert it vertically. So all of the ideation I have is how do we make what we're doing with one thing 1% better? And then we course correct. We make it a little bit better. Can that video be shorter? Awesome. How do we get our clients to win faster? Cool, let's do this, remove this, keep doing this. And we obsess about one thing only. That's it. Because if you have all these offerings, you are a generalist, and you know what that means. You're dead. Generalists die. You don't make money. No one wants to work with you because you're a jack of all trades, master of none. You are not looking for someone who's a generalist, I'm assuming. You're looking for someone who understands your business and your needs. Why would you think your clients are any different? But I can also help this and this. I don't give a shit. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. And if you need help with this, get help, because the single most important decision you have to make in your business is who do I want to serve? Single target market. Everything flows from there. Okay, the fourth mistake that keeps you stuck under $1 million is once you're at a point where you're ready to hire an admin assistant or an executive assistant or maybe another coach to help you on delivery. Those are the first two hires in a coaching business. You're not going to hire a sales rep first. We talked about this. You're not going to outsource your marketing to an agency who doesn't give a shit about your business. Don't fucking do that. I'm serious. You're going to hire an admin assistant and a coach. Those are the first two hires. Now, here's the mistake. Hiring people on the cheap. Oh, I'm going to cut corners and I'm going to hire someone who's the least expensive. And I share this with you from someone who has done that way too many times. In life, you always get what you pay for. The only exception to this rule that I have found so far in my 43 years is wine. I don't drink really ever, but when I have the occasional glass of wine, which is really never, I've had $900 bottles of wine and I'm like, we're okay. And then this $20 bottle is amazing. That's the only place in life where I found you don't get what you pay for. Everything else, from houses to cars to team to coaching programs to everything, you always get what you pay for. You want cheap leads? Guess what? That's exactly what you're gonna get. You want qualified clients? They're gonna cost a little bit more. But listen, if your return on ad spend is positive, why not do that? I want 1 cent clicks. That's exactly what you're gonna get. Shit clickers. Okay? Do not make the mistake of hiring the cheapest option. And this goes also for if you're investing in a coach, man, this is one of the biggest epic mistakes. If you are looking for the cheapest price instead of the best value, please save your money. Oh, I have a relative who's pretty good in business. I'm gonna get their coaching because they're giving me a discount. I'm like, oh my God, what are you doing? You should be looking for the most expensive people. And I know that's hard to swallow because you may not be in a position where that makes sense, but the most expensive option is always the cheapest one. I'm telling you this from 18 years of experience and working with people that I'm like, fuck, why did I hire this person? Or agencies or whatever, just invest a little bit more. The people you bring onto your team are the biggest investment and the most important asset that you will cultivate over time. They're also the biggest liability in pain in your ass if they're the wrong people. Obviously, I was animated about this. You always get what you pay for. Do you understand that? Please let it sink into your brain. If you're looking to cut corners and pay the least amount, you are going to pay so hard, so much more, and for so much longer and lost time than if you just found someone who's better. And you'll know right away. On day one, if this person doesn't surprise you in a positive way, it's usually not a good sign. It's usually not a good sign. When you've done this long enough, you start to recognize that some people, it's just gonna be a waste of time. If you have to spend an extra couple grand or an extra 10, 20,000 a year to hire someone better, do it. It is almost always gonna work out better for you. I promise you. Okay, you always get what you pay for. Do not hire cheap because that's exactly what you're gonna get. Okay, fifth biggest mistake that will keep you under $1 million is not tracking your metrics, not tracking critical numbers. Do you even know what your critical metrics are? Do you know what to measure in the first place? Most of our clients have no clue. They come in and we're like, cool, here's the critical number sheet. They're like, what the hell's this? We're like, watch the training. And then we walk them through how to track their numbers. I'm not getting enough calls booked. Great. Let's look at your critical number sheets. How many leads do you have? I have 13 leads. Why are we talking? Understand your numbers. If you don't have enough leads, you're not going to have calls booked. How do we get more leads? We do this, this, and this. Well, I think I need to change my webinar. Why do you say that? Because I don't have enough calls booked. Really? What's your lead to call book ratio? Huh, that looks pretty good. There might be a constraint somewhere else. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, you're in big trouble. If you're like, Yuri, what the fuck are you talking about? That's a concern. If you don't know what I'm talking about here, and you're like, what are these numbers you're throwing around? I can promise you, your business is not where you want it to be. And that's because you don't even, you have no dashboard. You have no, it's like flying a plane or driving a car with no dashboard. How fast am I going? I don't know. Officer, I wasn't speeding. Yeah, I got you clocked at 140 miles per hour. But I have no dashboard. I can't see anything. I don't give a shit. That's your problem. Figure it out, right? So you have to understand which critical numbers to look at in your business. Now, again, if you have a coaching business, there's going to be 11 critical numbers. Do you know what they are? Probably not. Do you know the 5 conversion trouble spots and how to fix them? Probably not. Well, that's exactly what we help our clients with, so they can run their business like a well-oiled machine that is based on data, not feelings. I feel like this is doing okay. I don't give a shit what you feel like. Show me the numbers, because you can't make good decisions without data. Client success. How long does it take your clients to get a first win? Well, they lose weight, they get the outcome. No, I'm like, okay, no. That's what I'm saying. Time to value. How quickly are you helping your clients achieve that first win? I don't know. What is the first win? I don't know. You tell me. Like, how are you monitoring your clients' progress? What's your net promoter score? I don't know. Okay. What's your fully loaded CAC? What's your cost to acquire clients? I'm not sure. What's your LTV? What's your lifetime value? I don't know. Do you know the LTV to CAC ratio, ideally? No. I mean, these are reasons why businesses can't scale. And these are reasons why a lot of coaches don't have a business. They have a job. And you might be in that position. That's fine if that's where you are. But if you want to change it, you have to build your business like a CEO. And it's not very complicated. It's just learning a new skill set. You know, it's one of the skills we help our clients build, is just monitoring your metrics and learning to interpret the data to make good decisions in your business. If you're a health professional, you're already doing this with your clients. You're just not maybe aware of it. Yeah, TSH is a little bit low, T3 is a little high, testosterone's down, estrogen's up. Those are critical numbers inside the human body. You're already doing this stuff. You're using that data to help your clients make good decisions about health modifications. We're just doing the same thing here in business. So instead of looking at TSH levels, for instance, we're looking at cost per lead or lead to call book ratio, stuff like that. Can you imagine this? Like, doctor or health practitioner, I would like to improve my health. I have some issues. Cool. I have no clue what's happening underneath the surface, but let's just make some assumptions and I think this will work. Like, you can't, how are you supposed to help people like that, right? It's the same thing in business. Don't expect great things in your business without measuring what you want to improve, right? What gets measured gets managed. And if you don't know what your numbers are, don't be upset when they don't grow, okay? Again, those are the 5 big mistakes that I continually see coaches make when building their businesses, and it keeps them under $1 million. It's impossible to get beyond $1 million if you make these 5 mistakes. So if you want to keep your business super small, here's what you do. You hire salespeople too early, you undercharge, you diversify your offerings, you hire cheap people, and 5, you do not track critical numbers. Do those 5 things and I guarantee you will stay small. Do the opposite of those based on the stuff I've talked about here, and you will grow your business beyond $1 million. Cool? Let me know which one of those 5 mistakes hits home the most with you in the comments below. And if you want more of this awesomeness, remember to subscribe to the channel and check out the next video. I have no clue what it is, but it's probably going to be awesome as well.